Drive. They know where they're supposed to stand.
They're the ones that said they want E-course and Party and E-course and Monroe.
So we have to
We have
amend
that
it?
with those stupid, what was it, that?
The bottom of our approval letter, because of all the issues with that second chance network,
Yeah.
it does
We have to
state
amend
that
it to
we
be more
only have
specific
approved,
as to
we only have the right to
the
approve city streets.
Right.
Which Goddard, Party, East Daily, Goddard, Mortonville, those are all city cross streets at all four corners. So is Wickham Party, but I know that she said she was, it's not a great, it's a dangerous intersection. So between,
We even
All
drew a
four
little
corners.
diagram that they had to stay on the city street.
we only have the jurisdiction to approve city.
Right.
If the county wants to approve those other ones, that's on them, but the county did tell her that it's on the city. But
Are we talking about second chance network again?
Yeah, no, they're not, I hope they don't come
No,
back.
that's
We're
where,
talking about
when we
37.
went to Gus and asked
Oh,
for
okay, sorry, I was
the
not.
Sounds
permissions,
like
what
they
are
wanna
we
go
allowed
on
to
E-course
permit,
Road, is
and
what
that was
Michelle
it,
was saying.
just the city cross street.
Oh, do you want to circle that then?
There has
They
to
were there before.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's right,
Right.
But they were saying it's their yearly corner day, so I just figured it was at the same location. They don't give a location.
Well, he had said it was E-course and Party and E-course and Monroe is where they have always done, because it's by
it's in
their
their
park.
jurisdiction, their
Right.
area.
It's their
It's
park.
covered by the approval letter that Michelle sent out.
Okay.
38 solicitation request for the VFW Post, Buddy Poppy Drive.
Yeah, you notice I crossed out the street corner because I was the quartermaster at Post, and we were talking about this, and I said I think there might be some concern whether or not what streets you can actually solicit at, so I haven't crossed it out till they get that letter
So
from
when
me.
the approval letter tells them what
Yeah.
streets, okay.
Number 39, another solicitation request for All Saints of Columbus, Tootsie Roll Drive. Can we approve them to stand in storefronts? Okay.
No, because they're
Property
private
owner.
property.
They supposed to
Can
get
you put a
permission
little
from
gas
us.
on that letter to say approval from the property owner?
Yeah, did he ask that in there?
Hmm?
Did he ask that in there?
Yeah.
Well, they've done it
Where's
at
the
Taylor
gas?
Town for years, so I think it's just a matter
It's
of.
up to the property owner to give that permission.
They probably have a property owner. Number 40 is to approve of an MOU of the city of Taylor and AFSCME local 1128. That's to increase the starting salary.
That is correct, Madam Chair. And it's just for the positions that are listed.
Mechanical helper.
Yes.
Oh. We got this all figured out now. The risk man, or the,
Fringe benefits?
oh, not that one. I was thinking the other one. Okay, that one. We're good with that.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
I don't think anything changed other than the treasurer was taken out, right?
For
the benefits.
For the
Fringe
commission?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that, yeah, and just the language about equivalent coverage
Okay.
for the actives and retirees that are collected.
I was a little ahead of myself. I was talking about the,
42?
yeah, Howard and Shifman.
Right, because they, risk management already talked to this person, right?
They hadn't talked to him prior to the last meeting, and that's why we postponed it.
Or to anybody.
Well, Councilman Garza actually postponed the item.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, that was fine, I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess
because they hadn't been introduced to the risk management panel at any point.
Right.
So, which was good, a good thing.
Linda, on that one, remember I had said that it had showed up in the minutes that it was approved to postpone the item, and normally I've never seen that show up in the minutes. When we went through and approved that to postpone it to this meeting, we put the date in for this meeting, but in the minutes, you'll see that it shows that it was motioned by Angela and Garza to approve postponement of this. And I've never seen that, but it sent her an approval, stating that it was approved.
Approved
Okay, we'll have to fix that then.
Yeah, if you look in the minutes, it shows, it has the CCR number, but it shows that it was approved to postpone, which has never done that before, and I don't know why it's done that.
Because when we postpone it, it automatically
It
goes
goes to the next meeting, and
Right.
it did that,
and we,
except for it approved it, it's like for,
it's working hard again.
yeah.
Oh, and the Parks and Recreation Department facility use permit for Taylor, Northwest Little League, and all the others, I assume.
Soccer.
Any questions on that, Tim?
No, I just,
Dan?
that's not there. The only one I had was that, which I saw was the parking lot. I mean, is that just like general maintenance or?
Sure, if I could walk you through what we expect this to, again, you know, we're trying to resolve the issue of what occurred so it doesn't occur again. We expect each year that Jeff Bilbeck and his team will meet with each of these 5 and any others that we enter into. And we'll look at things like percentage of use. That was one of Dan's questions of, you know, we'll have to figure out, in some cases like Taylor Soccer, they'll have a water meter. They'll get 100% of that water bill because that's all their use. But in other cases where there's shared agreements, we may have to calculate or estimate a calculated approximation that is city versus the affected league. In each case with the parking lots, you know, what we're trying to avoid is, if you remember a couple of years ago when this, when the one league had an electrical problem and the city of Taylor didn't have a line item budgeted, we're trying to avoid that. So we'll sit down with each one of the leagues and try to look at capital improvement projects each year and you know, figure out what's coming towards us and other things like preventative maintenance. If it's a shared use, the city of Taylor may bear some of that responsibility. If it's a use specific for one of the little leagues or one of the soccer programs, it would be their responsibility solely. So,
So I got a question. Taylor South, does that include the junior league building there? That big building, is that true? Part of Taylor South?
Well, it's on the same,
One on the
it's
field
the same.
store. Yeah,
That's all Taylor South? Yeah.
Yeah, because they use that for their 13 and 14 year olds.
And I
Yeah, that's
expect,
part of Taylor South.
yeah.
Right.
and Madam Chair, I expect, as the mayor stated, that we'll have to go through it because there's some meters that aren't tied in directly. There are some water that's used for bathrooms when we rent pavilions and it's hooked to the same water meter. So this is not like, I mean, we're gonna have to work through it. We're gonna have to meet and go through and inventory, you know, all of the units and all of the,
Madam Chair, what we're certainly not trying to do is burden any one league with any additional responsibilities that are not theirs.
Right.
But also try to give them some defined boundaries of what they should be responsible for and what we would be responsible for. For example, you know, Little League fencing. You know, I believe there's an expectation that they should be required to keep a certain maintenance level to it. But you know, if it just looks a little rusty, we can't necessarily say, hey, tear that out, put new fencing in. So it'll definitely encourage a lot more communication with the department head and each league, and we'll certainly understand a lot more of how we can help. There's a couple changes that we will make tomorrow. Councilman Mazura had sent over a couple of things. We're gonna make some small modifications, but the overall agreements or permits will look pretty similar to what you have. There was a question about like partnerships. Like again, this is not to stop any league from, if I think the example that was used, like at the high school needed to borrow it or something. We're not trying to be that restrictive. But at the same time, if there's an opportunity that they're going to be there every Saturday, we may want to have that brought to the Recreation Commission and then maybe even the risk management to make sure all the waivers are in place, because they would fall under different guidelines than Little League Baseball would.
Yeah, the comment that I'm making, I think it's a good idea to have a permit in place that's consistent for all the leagues, consistent with what we're doing for, say, soccer, but doesn't hamstring, you know, whether it's a nonprofit or a relationship the nonprofit has with a local high school, where we're making it harder for our leagues to help take care of kids in the neighborhood. So I think the example I heard was like Kennedy's freshman baseball team, if there's a conflict and there's only one diamond over there, but they can go play at Taylor South, and Taylor South's okay with that, I don't want to say why should we care, because we want to make sure the rules are being followed, but I wouldn't want this sort of an agreement to be used against a high school or a middle school from being able to use a property that one of our little leagues is willing to let them use on an occasional basis.
And so devil's advocate to that, Madam Chair, is if there is that one-off situation, they would be able to conduct business as normal. But if they know that they're going to have them there every Tuesday and Friday, we would expect them to bring that forward so that we can make sure the proper controls are put in place.
Well, I got a question. I mean, it was brought up at one of the meetings about one of the leagues renting the fields to a college? Or is that?
Basically, Taylor, or Henry Ford plays at Taylor Northwest on their senior field. And in agreement, they fix off the field. There's no
But
rent paid or anything like
is there
that.
any kind of insurance that should be
Well, they
covered by
provide
that?
their own insurance on their players.
Do we get that? Do we get a copy of that? Have we ever had it all?
No. So in that case, we would certainly likely not stop that from occurring, but we would ask them to bring that plan forward so we can make sure everything's documented the way that it needs to be.
Insurances and stuff.
And yeah,
And I think, and I agree with that, because I mean, sometimes if you got like Henry Ford, or you got somebody else that plays a couple days a week at one of those fields, they usually either make some sort of donation, they use some sort of the fields, you know, some sort of, so I mean, I think the city should be knowledgeable of that, to say, okay, well, you are getting some sort of, whether it be compensation or, you know, money that goes in to help your league or help fix your league, there is value to that. So I think the fact that, you know, I agree, more conversation amongst all the leagues on a regular basis, them having a defined role, because, you know, I love all these little leagues, but like I've said from the get-go, they are our parks, you know, and I think it's a good idea, and I liked what I read. Like I said, I wasn't sure what, you know, I mean, there's some vagueness to some of them, but you're always gonna have that.
and we might, based on, you know, after going through it this year, there may be some changes that we need to make, and we'll reevaluate that, or if there's things that you see that you hear that are not working. Again, the idea of this is to create clear expectations for both sides, both the city and the league, little league, or soccer league, whatever it is.